28 seniors found themselves.
Residents are proposing a dramatic option for their city if the rest of Quebec votes to separate. Our reporter on that story is Mark Kelly.
We'll be more than delighted to send you out the information.
Mark KOTLER is a separatist, but not the traditional kind in Quebec. In fact, he wants to separate from Quebec if sovereignists win the next referendum. 3,000 people have signed up to support his group.
All this area in here.
Nouveau Quebec, as he calls it, would include Montreal and all other parts of the province that vote no to independence.
We intend to stay in Quebec and remain as Canadians, and nobody's going to take us and throw us out.
Ever since the referendum, small grassroots meetings like this have been popping up across Montreal. Local groups of frustrated federalists who fear their country may be slipping away.
We are not moving to Toronto or Alberta or New Brunswick or Nova Scotia to be Canadians. We are going to stay in Quebec and be Canadians.
In Montreal, it's known as Anglo-Angst, English-speaking federalists who feel abandoned by their politicians.
I want to protest, I want to make noise, I want something to happen.
Nobody seems to be helping anybody, so we have to help ourselves.
It's also called partition, an idea that surfaced in 1980 around the time of the first sovereignty referendum in Quebec. But now it's gaining momentum. Some say Montreal should become a city-state like Singapore, a refuge from political instability. Economist Marcel Côté is a former advisor to Prime Minister Mulroney.
You have to think hard about it. Montreal has deep economic problem. It won't be solved by Quebec becoming independent, and we seem to have problems resolving it now within Canada.
Historian Desmond Morton says carving up Quebec is a recipe for civil war.
Talk of an 11th province, however intended to offend people in Quebec City or to arouse an intra-separatist debate, is likely to produce quite explosive consequences. More explosive, I think, than some of the advocates realize or are prepared to admit.
One other possible consequence is the whole thing would backfire. Poll after poll shows the vast majority of Quebecers believe the province's borders are untouchable. So the partition movement may ensure a yes victory by turning Francophone federalists into sovereignists. Mark Kelly, CBC News, Montreal.